For someone who's much more in the know even than I am, Gareth Redmond-King is here. He's the international lead with the Energy and Climate Intelligence Unit. Thanks for coming back. Your daily briefing, your email is valuable to everybody here.
Excellent. Good.
First question. What needs to happen to see a breakthrough here in Dubai?
How long have you got? There's a whole bunch of things that need to happen. As you suggested there are lots of different streams of talks underway around mitigation, which is cutting emissions, around adapting to the climate impacts, around the finance that is needed, particularly by developing countries. And on most of the issues at the moment, there's still either quite a long, there's quite a big gap between the various positions, or there's a very long list of options, or indeed both. So what needs to happen, of course, is for some of the parties to start to form bigger alliances, to start to adjust their positions ever so slightly, to try and move other sides' positions, and for some of the big players who are here to be able to try and broker some of those changes. So the UN Secretary General flew back in yesterday, and he is here to, diplomatically bang some heads together and try and close those gaps.
Yeah, we've seen some pushing and prodding on the part of Guterres, on the part of Sultan Al Jaber, the COP28 president. I want to ask you, though, about the role of China. They've been doing deep talks with the United States. John Kerry and his counterpart have a very close relationship. Yeah. Could that be a wild card here?
It has been before, and significant movement, or even some movement, on the part of some of the big emitters, particularly China, who are so sort of enigmatic about what they might do next in any of these kind of talks, can unlock and move things, and it can put China in a position with the US then of being able to push some of those other parties to go further. So we saw in the last few days, whilst China has been clear that it does not support a phase out of fossil fuels in the terms that many of the high ambition nations do, they have changed their language and they have started to talk about replacing fossil fuels with renewables. That's quite a significant shift, as is the fact that they signed up to the High Ambition Coalition on Nature and Climate. So they're aligning themselves with some very high ambition parties, albeit that that's specifically in relation to nature, rather than the High Ambition Coalition here in Dubai.
We have about 30 seconds left. Briefly, what are you going to be looking for when we see that new text released, and how likely is it that we'll be done in 24 hours?
The very first thing I will look for is the language on fossil fuels. Have we got options in there? Does it say abated? Does it say phase out, phase down? The second thing I'll look is to see whether there's been any sort of movement on adaptation, which has been glacial in its progress. No, I do not think we will be done in 24 hours. I think we might be competing with the Madrid COP to go all out, and Sharm el-Sheikh and Madrid were the longest, so I think we'll probably be competing with those.
Wow, okay, well there you go. That self-imposed 24-hour deadline, likely not going to meet that. Gareth Redmond-King, international lead with the Energy and Climate Intelligence Unit. Thank you as always for your insights. We'll see what happens. We're expecting another update coming up shortly.